Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome back to our channel. Even with Monday hanging over them in the 1970s, Sundays were a lot of people's favorite days of the week. That's all owing to the $6 Million Man, a one-of-a-kind show with an enduring legacy and an outstanding ensemble. It sparked children's imaginations in a variety of ways. Let's look at the $6 Million Man 1973 cast then and now. Number 6. Lee Majors' Steve Austin. Steve Austin earned the reputation of being a guy on the verge of death. However, he suddenly became bionic, the titular $6 Million Man with a super strong arm, both legs, and a bionic implant to lead the cast to victory. 3 of his limbs possessed the strength and agility of a bulldozer, allowing him to take on any task with ease. Austin became a well-known action hero in the 1970s due to his ability. Lee Majors, the 82-year-old actor who played him, came from an athletic background himself. He would have preferred to become a sports hero than a TV celebrity if he had his way. He was particularly fond of track and football, which he competed in throughout his high school years and college. However, due to his short career, he embarked on a rough route to acting. Majors is said to have performed 90% of his stunts, so some of this paid off. He was indeed the Bionic Man. Lee made his feature film debut in Joan Crawford's Straight Jacket in 1964, followed by guest starring parts on Gunsmoke and Alfred Hitchcock Presents the following year. However, he was cast as Heath in the 1965-69 western The Big Valley, which starred Linda Evans of Dynasty and Richard Long, Nanny and the Professor. In 1968, he co-starred in the film Will Penny with Charlton Heston, and in 1969, he received critical praise for his work in the ABC Movie of the Week, The Ballad of Andy Crocker. Number 5. Richard Anderson, Oscar Goldman. Bureaucracy may make anybody seem calculating and cold, yet OSI director Oscar Goldman had the potential to be fatherly at the end of the day. He only had to think about what each circumstance required. Regardless, once Darren McGavin vacated the role when the character was so cold and harsh that even the cyborg Steve Austin referred to him as a robot, this director became more accessible. Richard Anderson's role as OSI head for the $6 Million Man lasted from the original series to its spin-off The Bionic Woman and the 3 reunion TV movies in the 1980s and 90s. Anderson appropriately kept up to date on the issue by conducting real-life deep dives into the realm of bionics. He alternated between feature films, TV guest appearances, and TV movies during the 1960s and early 70s. In the sequel to The Night Stalker, The Night Strangler 1973, he played the near-immortal Dr. Richard Malcolm and faced off against Darren McGavin's Carl Kolchak. Anderson portrayed the evil guy in many of his subsequent appearances, with the exception of $6 Million Man. He was a philanthropist in his personal life, where he married twice and had 3 children. He also worked with important figures as a companion and adversary to Guy Williams' Zorro. He certainly benefited from his long-term celebrity, which enabled him to acquire antique vehicles such as the 1957 Bentley Continental Flying Spur. He died of natural causes in 2017 at the age of 91. Director Goldman, may you rest in peace. Number 4. Martin E. Brooks, Dr. Rudy Wells, Seasons 3-5. To address medical and bionic demands simultaneously, it needs someone with a unique background. That's why OSI frequently summoned Dr. Rudy Wells, a figure almost as well known as Steve Austin himself in The $6 Million Man. Dr. Wells appeared in several episodes and films centered on the Bionic Man and his associates. After breaking into the world of acting and Hollywood in the 1950s, Martin E. Brooks took up the part for seasons 3-5. He alternated between appearing on television, the big screen, and on the stage, including The Andersonville Trial, An Enemy of the People, and Burning Bright, as did many other actors at the time. Despite his appearances on several television programs, his lone recurring role was Deputy D.A. Chapman on McMillan and Wife from 1972 to 73. Of course, it was as Rudy Wells that he rose to prominence, with the 1994 reunion picture Bionic Ever After serving as one of his final major endeavors. He kept himself occupied, though, by writing novels and music in his senior years. His CD, A Life Filled with Love, featured recordings from the 1960s. Brooks died in 2015 at the age of 90 after a long and illustrious career. Number 3. Lindsay Wagner, Jamie Summers. Her involvement in the $6 Million Man cast had already aided her in doing great things for female viewers, and her role in The Bionic Woman, which ran from 1976 to 78, further added to that. Lindsay was forced into a powerful and inspirational limelight as a result of her prominence. Her personality and that of her German Shepherd Max the Bionic dog captivated fans of all ages. It should be noted, however, that Lee Majors was not one of them. They came to me with the Bionic dog, Lee chuckles, and I told, "That's not going in my show. You may give it to Lindsay for the Bionic Woman, but I'm not letting that dog appear on my program." Wagner continued to score commendable and even nostalgic parts after the Bionic Spy turned in all her expensive implants, such as in Scruples. Then, she ran into another period legend, Sylvester Stallone, portraying his ex in the cop thriller Nighthawks 1981. Check her out on the series Warehouse 13, where she plays Dr. Vanessa Calder on a regular basis. She's also been in a half-dozen TV movies, guest starred on NCIS and Fuller House, and played Helen Karev in 4 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Number 2. Alan Oppenheimer, Dr. Rudy Wells, Seasons 1 to 2. Alan Oppenheimer played Dr. Rudy Wells before Brooks took up the role. Even after he went, admirers could still hear his distinct voice, which had come to characterize many a childhood. For starters, he spent the 1980s as Vanity Smurf. Then, there was Skeletor in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which was one of his most well-known voice acting roles. At the age of 90, he even appeared in Pixar's Toy Story 4 2019 as the voice of Oldtimer. What a rewarding career. Oppenheimer also had a lot of work where he might be seen. As the chief supervisor in the 1973 sci-fi movie Westworld, he played one of his most memorable parts. That was also the year he began his voice acting career as the lead in Inch High Private Eye, and the decade that saw an explosion in his chances to use his voice. Then came the era of many cartoon voice ventures throughout that decade. Oppenheimer, who's been married twice and has 3 children, will turn 92 in April 2022. Number 1. Darren McGavin, Oliver Spencer. Darren McGavin had a successful career outside of the $6 Million Man. He usually portrayed a gruff, well-traveled figure, but he could use his demeanor to score some great humorous roles as well. One of the most well-known is Bob Clark's A Christmas Story, in which he played Mr. Parker, dubbed the Old Man who fought rogue canines with the use of a body leg lamp. In Adam Sandler's Billy Madison, he portrayed the father of the eponymous character, and he was stiff yet humorous. Carl Kolchak, the supernatural hunting reporter in the TV movies The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler, and the weekly series Kolchak the Night Stalker, is without a doubt his most famous character. He created a big career by the time he died in 2006 at the age of 83. Anita Williams from 1942 to 1948, Melanie York from 1944 to 1969, and Kathy Brown from 1969 until her death in 2003 were his 3 wives. He's the father of 4 children. Let us know your thoughts about the show in the comments down below, and we'll check you guys later in another great video. Take care now.